What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. I'm your host, as always, Huzaifa. And we are prepping for what? For the SAT this Saturday. Now, if you guys haven't been tuning in, you don't know, but now you're going to know that I'm taking the SAT this Saturday on October 6th with you guys, which is going to be really fun. And for those of you who want my feedback, my thoughts, etc. on the test, well, you're going to get it Saturday. After the test, we're going to do a debrief. But right now, we're focusing on the lead up to the SAT. We're doing lots of math practice. And I'm trying to get you guys ready by watching me take an SAT in real time, knock out the test, knock out the problems, and watch my process. And this is real. This is the real deal. If you saw yesterday, I actually got one wrong. And that happens from time to time. It's to show you that what I'm trying to provide to you guys, which I don't think exists elsewhere, is what it's like to not just get the advice, not just to me show you how to do it and be like, can I really do that in the time setting? I'm trying to do everything. I'm also trying to explain it in the time setting, which is a little harder, but I'm trying to show you that process within the time constraints so you can see how fast your mind has to work in order to meet the time guidelines and be efficient. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. So far, I've heard that it has been helpful to a lot of you who responded to me or reached out to me. So I really appreciate that. Let me know ways that I can make it better. I know somebody mentioned that it was a little hard to read the font up in the upper left-hand corner, so I've increased the size. Please let me know if it's good now and if it's legible. I can continue to make adjustments, but I feel like it's much better now, hopefully. So without further ado, let's do it. Here we go. Oh, and let me continue. Yeah, we're good there. Good. All right, now this is the calculator section. Oh yeah, let me do this. I'm gonna pull up a calculator on here. This way you can kind of see what I'm typing in on the calculator as we have problems come up. All right, there it is. So I'm going to use Google Calculator. All right, this is 55 minutes, 38 questions. Let's see how we do. Which expression is equivalent to this? Here we go. Just remove those parentheses because they're not doing anything. I'm going to distribute this negative to everything, so everything's going to flip sign. So that's positive 3x squared, negative 2x, positive 7. Now I'm going to combine like terms, which are these guys, and also these guys, the numbers by themselves. Okay, so 2x squared plus 2x squared is 5x squared. The negative 2x has no like term. It stays there. Negative 4, positive 7, positive 3. And there we go. 5x squared minus 2x plus 3. Oops. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Next question. I need the mouse here. All right. The graph above shows the positions of Mark and Paul. Paul and Mark during the race. They ran a constant rate, and Mark was given a head start to shorten the distance he needed to run. Paul finished the race in 6 seconds, and Mark finished the race in 10 seconds. So Paul finished here in 6, right? Here's the time. Mark in 10. According to the graph, Mark was given a head start of how many yards? Here's the graph, right? So Paul started right at 0. Mark started, where is his position on the y-axis? Not 0, not 6, not 12, but it looks like 18. So he was given 18 yards. And is this in yards? Yeah, I'm just making sure this wasn't in feet, like they're trying to trick us. I think that's good. Next. Snow fell and then stopped for a time when the snow began to fall again. It fell at a faster rate than it had initially. So we need... It fell, then it stopped, then it fell faster. This is already looking good. Fell, stopped, then fell faster because the slope is steeper. Assume that none of the snow melted, which the following could model the total accumulation. I like A. This is faster, stopped, then slower. This is fell, stopped, and then melted. And this is just fell at a constant rate. So I think we got it right there. A website hosting service charges businesses a one-time setup fee of $350. One-time fee is always my value right out here, plus D dollars for each month. Okay, so number of months. If a business owner paid $1,010, that's my total, right? For 12 months, you see how I'm filling it in right as I'm doing it, including the setup fee. What is the value of D? Boom, I got my equation. Now we solve. Subtract 350 from both sides. Notice I haven't really had to use my calculator just yet. Could use it here, but that's 660, and then divide by 12. Could probably do this in my head. 5, 50, 55. Let's double check. Okay, 55. Good. And boom, there we go. 6x minus 9y is greater than 12. Which of the following inequalities is equivalent to the equality above? Let's see. This one, no. That doesn't make any sense. This one, maybe. We're dividing everything by 3. It's this one. They divided everything by 3. That becomes 2. That becomes 3. That becomes 4. This one, no. They flipped it. This one... No, this one makes no sense. It's this one. Where do people get most of their medical information? Blah, blah, blah. The table shows summary of 1,200 responses. How many of those surveyed get most of their medical information from either a doctor or the internet? So that's 63% either or, meaning we add these two. So it combines to become 76%. And again, this is 1,200. So 76%. Remember, we convert it to a decimal. We move the decimal over twice of any percentage. So it's 0.76 times 1,200, which equals 912. Nice. It's a good feeling when you make that calculation. You see that number there. The members of a city council wanted to assess the opinions of all city residents about this. Dog park. Council survey 500 who own dogs. Survey showed the majority of those sampled were in favor. Which of the following is true about the city council survey? It's obviously messed up. They only sampled people who own dogs. Of course, they're going to want a dog park. It shows that no, it doesn't show that. The survey sample should have included more residents who are no. It said it's all dog owners, so that doesn't make sense. The survey sample should have consisted entirely. No, it shouldn't have that because that would have been biased the other way. It's biased because it's not fully representative, and that's the problem. Okay. The table above shows the flavors of ice cream and their toppings chosen by people at a party. Each person chose one flavor and one topping. Of the people who chose vanilla, what fraction chose hot fudge? Okay. So check it out. Of the people who chose vanilla, so that's that subsect, so that's 13. What fraction of those people chose hot fudge? 8. It's 8 out of 13. That's it. So you just want to make sure what your whole is and what your part is. But I think that says of the people who chose vanilla, there's 13 people, 8 out of them. The total area of a coastal city is 92.1 square miles, of which 11.3 square miles is water. If the city had a population of 621,000 in year 2010, which of the following is close to the population density, people per square mile of land? Okay, so it's 92.1, but we have to subtract that 11.3. So here's my land, so it's 80.8. 80.8. So it's 621,000 per 80.8. I'm sorry, other way around. No, yeah, per square mile. So we can now divide 621 by that answer by 80.8, and we get 7,685, 7,690 people per square mile. That's about right. These are off by a factor of 10. I wonder why. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm just making sure I didn't make a silly mistake. Between 1497 and 1500, Amerigo Vespucci embarked on 2 voyages to the New World. According to his letters, the first voyage lasted 43 days longer than the second voyage. So first voyage equals second voyage is 43 days longer than the second voyage. And the 2 voyage, oh look, a system of equations. So x is my first voyage, y is my second voyage, and the 2 voyages combined, x plus y, lasted a total of 1,003 days. How many did the second voyage last? We're solving for y. Okay, so I'm going to solve for y, therefore I'm going to plug y plus 43, since it equals x, into x right there. Y plus 43 plus y equals 1,003. 2y plus 43 equals 1003. Subtract 43, subtract 43. 2y equals 960. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Y equals 480. So the second voyage is 480. The other voyage is 523, of course, but we want the second voyage. Wait, did I answer it? Yeah, 480. For the solution to the system, what is the value of x minus y? Here we go. Okay. All right, 7. So we're going to solve it like this. Equals 8. This is all nicely set up for what's called the elimination method. So I'm going to combine the two equations. Those cancel out. We've got 13x equals 13. Therefore, x equals 1. That's pretty basic. Now we plug this back into either of the equations. I'll plug it in up here. So it's 7 times 1 plus 3y equals 8. Subtract 7, subtract 7. 3y equals 1. Y equals 1/3. All right, divide both sides by 3. So therefore, x minus y is 1 minus 1/3, which is 2/3. All right, so we got 2/3, and it's right there. Which of the following time periods is the average growth rate of the sunflower? What? Is average? Oh, sunflower lease. Let's see. Growth. Where it grows the I mean, we got to find, this is kind of a pain, right? We got to find the shortest interval. Oh, look, it slows down here. You can see, right? That's still like 36, 23, 19, 3. Here, right here. 77 to 84. Wait, what? Oh, wow. It's going in those big chunks. I didn't even read it carefully. 63. There, it's only going up by 7. 42 to 63. It's going up by a lot more than that. 21 to 42. It's going up by a lot. Yeah, so it's clearly the last one. So here's where the growth rate is the least. And then it says the function this, where a constant, a constant, or a, oops, a, and I was going to say a and, oh, it's being cut off. Hold on, I got to zoom out. That sometimes happens. Okay. The growth rate from, oh, there's 3 questions. Where a and b are constants. I'll zoom back in a second. Models the height in centimeters of the sunflower. T days after growth during a time period in which the growth is approximately linear. What does A represent? Okay, look, if T is time period, T is the growth rate. It's the amount of centimeters per time unit, basically. Each day, but T is T? Yeah, T is days. So predicted number of centimeters the sunflower grows each day during the period. Predicted height in centimeters of the sunflower in centimeters at the beginning of the period. After T days. Yeah. It's not the predicted height. The predicted height is the total. It's when you multiply it times T. So that's right. Okay. The growth rate of the sunflower from 14 to 35 is nearly constant. On this interval, which of the following equations best models the height in centimeters of the sunflower T days after it begins to grow? Okay, 14 to 35. Okay, let's put it in here. So I'm going to kind of say 14, 21, 28, 35. We got 30. So I'm just going to approximate 68, 98, 131. Okay, let's see. So now I'm going to, oh, it's got the graph right there. I didn't even see that. 21 is 68. Yeah, okay, good. T days after it begins to grow. Okay. So we basically are seeing which one of these, when I plug in these values for T, do I get the right outcome. So this is wrong because I'd get like 28 minus 15, which would be 13, not 36. 4.5 times 14. I could do this on a calculator. I'm just trying to try and do it mentally. 4 is at 40, 56 plus 7 is 63. Minus 27 is 36. 21 times 4.5. I could actually calculate the slope, to be honest, and put that in there. Let's do it that way. 131 minus 36 is 95 over 35 over 14. I'm taking the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's over 21. 95 over 21. All right, there it is. It's got to be this. So I'm just gonna move on because I'm not totally want to spend more time on this. I'm gonna go on, and if I need to, I can come back and check it, but I feel pretty confident. Which of the following equations relates y to x for the values in the table above? Actually, you know what? Oh, shoot. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Let me go back really quickly. Let's just plug it in for day 35. 131 times 4.5. 35 times 4.5 equals minus 27. And that's 130. Okay, good. Just making sure that's pretty confident now. Which of the following equations relates y to x for the values in the table above? Okay, when x is 1, I'm just going to plug and chug. When x is 1, this should be 11 fourths. Nope, this is out. If x is 1, this is 5 fourths. So we're going to do a little elimination. A, B, C, D. Boom, A is gone. Next, let me zoom back in. Oh, I did the wrong zoom. I zoomed in on this one. I want to zoom in here. There we go, 125. Then this one, I'm going to plug 1 in and see what I get. 1, I get 6 fourths. Nope. I'm looking for 11 fourths. 1, I get 3 fourths plus 8 fourths, 11 fourths. C is good. So now we got to check some more values. What about D? If I plug in 1, I get 14 fourths. I get 11. So first for C and D. Now let's try 2. We need 25 fourths. So I have 6 fourths plus 8 fourths. This is already 14 fourths. So C is out. But we're not going to be hasty in case I made a mental mistake. We're going to plug 2 in here. For D, it's 14 halves minus 3 fourths, which is 28 fourths minus 3 fourths, which is 25 fourths when I plug in 2, and that is indeed what I saw up here, 25 fourths, and that's it. We don't have to plug in every value, just enough to start eliminating. Okay. Next, we've got these guys, triangles. Which of the following is equal to the ratio of BC to AB? Okay, these are proportionate triangles, and because they're similar, same thing. Because of, I can tell that from the way their angles are laid out. So I'm going to show you really quickly why. Since all the angles in a triangle add up to 180, if this is 32, this has to be 58. This is 58. Oops. This has to be 32. 32 plus 58 plus 90, 180, same here. So these are the same. So that means that the little side here is proportionate to the little side here, and the medium side here is proportionate to this guy. So we want which following is equal to BC little over BC over, they're doing this one, AB. So it's basically BC over AB is like my little over my hypotenuse, which would be the same as DF little over hypotenuse here, which is DE. DF over DE. Which of the following expresses the riser height in terms of tread depth? Oh, we're just isolating h. I don't even need to read the rest of this. So watch. 2h plus d equals 25 minus d, and then divide by 2. It's 25 minus d over 2. Or 1/2 times 25 minus d, same thing. 1/2. Yep. Sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, cool. Next, some building codes, all three questions again. Some building codes require that for indoor stairways, the tread depth must be at least 9 inches. So that's my D value. And the riser must be at least 5 inches. Riser height. Okay. Let's back up to our original equation. So this is the height, and this is the tread depth. So the tread depth must be at least 9 inches, and the riser height must be at least 5 inches. According to the tread riser formula, which of the following inequalities represents the set of all possible values for the riser height? Hold on. Oh, and then it's got to still equal 25, right? So H can be 0. So if H is 0, the depth could be 25. And H, no, sorry. It says the riser height must be at least 5 inches. So it can't be this. It could be this, but it might have a max. The riser height must be at least 5 inches. Does it have to be less than? Yeah, it has to be less than 8 because this is supposed to equal 25, less than or equal to 8. So when it equals 8 plus 9 at a minimum, this is where we equal 25. 16 plus 9 is 25. So it's got to be this. That's got to be the bounds. An architect wants to use the riser tread formula to design a stairway with a total rise of 9 feet. Hold on. 9 feet, a riser between hold on. Design a stairway with a total rise of 9 feet. Hold on. Got it. Right, total rise. Total rise of 9 feet, which let's convert that to inches. That's 9 times 12 is 108. A riser height between 7 and 8 inches. Let's put 7.5 for now. And an odd number of steps. Odd number of steps. What does that have to do with anything? Okay. With the architect's constraints, which of the following must be the tread depth in inches of the stairway? All right, wait a minute. What's the 2? Ooh, I'm not sure about this one. Hold on, let me see. I'm a little bit confused at the wording. An architect wants to use the riser tread formula to design a stairway with the total rise of 9 feet. Hold on, let me read all of this. Where H is the riser height and inches and D is heights are the same. And the tread depths are the same for all steps. The number of steps in the stairway is the number. Oh, I see that. The number of steps is the number of its risers. For example, there are 5 steps in the stairway above. The total rise of a stairway is the number of riser heights. Got it. So that's why it's 25. So 5 and 25. Total rise of 9 feet. The riser height between 7 and 8 inches. Let's say 7, hold on. And an odd number of steps, 14. Oh, I get it. An odd number of steps. Must be the tread depth. So an odd number of steps, we could say, I see. It's what has to be divided equally into 9. I mean, what has to be divided equally into 108. Wait, is that right? So then the number of steps we could say is 9, perhaps. Hold on, 9. And the number of, did it say the number of? Is the number of its risers. I'm confused. I'm not sure how to apply it to this formula. 10.6 must be the tread depth, and if we've got 9 steps, there's something that I'm missing here. 2 times the riser height plus the depth equals, that can't be the total rise. No, this 25 is not the total rise. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe this is still supposed to be 25. And then it's 14. And then it's 11, which is 10.6. I got really confused. Maybe I'm not even supposed to use that total height. And that's what threw me for a loop. I'm going to leave it at that for now. We'll come back. That really confused me. Probably because there's a lot of red herrings there in terms of information we don't need. But let's see. That wasted a lot of time. Let's see if I can still finish this in good time. All right, x minus 6, x plus 0.7 equals 0. What is the sum of the solutions? My solutions are positive 6, where this one equals 0, and here's negative 0.7. The sum of these guys is 5.3. Positive 5.3. A study was done on the weights of different types of fish in a pond. A random sample of fish were caught and marked in order to ensure that none weighed more than once. The sample contained, so random sample caught and marked in order to ensure that none were weighed more than once. Sample contained 150 large bass mouth, and then 30 and 70. 30% weighed more than 2 pounds. Which of the following conclusions is best supported by the sample data? The majority of all fish, no, we can't say that because this is just a random well, we could say I don't know about all fish. It's the largemouth bass that weighed less. The average weight of all fish in the pond is approximately 30% of all fish in the pond. Approximately 30% of all largemouth bass in the pond. I'd say this. These don't address the largemouth, the fact that they only sampled, this is a stat of the largemouth bass fish. So I think that's right. Next, number of states with 10 or more electoral votes. In 2008, there were 21 states with 10 or more electoral votes, as shown above. Based on the table, what was the median number of electoral votes for the 21 states? Median number of electoral votes. Okay. So this is in order from least to greatest, which is good. And we've got how many states? 21 states. So the median's going to be state number 11, right? We'll have the first 10, then 11, then the second 10. So we count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It comes in here. So that 11th state is at 15 electoral votes. So that's my median. And then, wait, sorry, let's double check. 4, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Right. As part of an experiment, a ball was dropped and allowed to bounce repeatedly off the ground until it came to rest. The graph above represents the relationship between the time elapsed after the ball was dropped and the height of the ball above the ground. After it was dropped, how many times was the ball at the height of 2 feet? So check it out. Boom. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 3 times. Did you see that? So there's it at 2 feet right here, then again right here, then again right there, and those are the 3 times. Yep. Okay, cool. A customer's monthly water bill was that. Due to a rate increase, her monthly bill is now that. To the nearest 1/10%, by what percentage the amount of the customer's water bill increase? Okay, so this is the original. This is the new. So we find the amount of change, 214. So it went up by 412. So to find the percent that it increased, we do the amount changed over the original 75.74, and that'll give us a percentage. 4.12 divided by 75.74. And then move the decimal over twice, 1, 2, and it's 5.439. 5.4. Next, now remember, we're waiting for question 31. As soon as we get to 31, the difficulty level is going to just drop. And that's where we could jump ahead even if we wanted to snag some points, but we're doing well in time. Some values of the linear function are shown in the table above. What is f of 3? Oh, it's a linear function, so -2, 1. So here's my guess, 0, 2, 6. I'm going to fill in what we don't have. 3, 4, 5, like that in red, and I'm going to kind of make a guess, and I'll show you why I believe this, because it's linear, so it should be a constant rate of change. I think this is 1, and then this would be 4. You see how it's going up by 3, and then this should be 7, 10, 13, and 16, and that's right. 6 is supposed to be 16, 2 is supposed to be 4, so this looks like it works. So what is f of 3? That's right here, and it's 7. A gear ratio, R to S, is the ratio of the number of teeth of two connected gears. The ratio of the number of revolutions per minute of the two gear wheels is S to R. Number of teeth revolutions, it's reversed. So the more, that's weird. It's like the more teeth, oh, that makes sense. The more teeth, the bigger, the less revolution. Gear A is turned by motor B. Gear A is turned by a motor. The turning of gear causes turn B and C to turn as well. Okay. Right? If gear A is rotated by the motor at a rate of 100, what is the number of revolutions per minute for gear C? So ratio of the number of revolutions per minute of the two gears is S to R. So the gear ratio, RS, is the ratio of teeth of the two connected gears. So we're looking at C, right? So 20 to 10 is A to C. And then the ratio of the revolutions is flipped. So ratio of revolutions is flipped, right? 10 to 20. And then we already know that, so it's basically 1 to 2. We already know that gear A is rotated at 100 RPM. What is gear C? This is 1/2. So we do 2, 1. 1x equals 200. So it's double, I guess. Seems too straightforward for 26. Something doesn't seem right. That just seems too easy. Why would they have gear B? Okay, let's go a little more slowly here. So I'm going to say A to C, A to B, let's do first, is 20 to 60. Therefore, it's 60 to 20 for A to B. So 3 to 1. A to B, I'm going to do first is 3 to 1 equals 100 over x. 3x equals 100. So x equals 33 1/3. So this has 33. So B has 33 1/3. Then B to C is 60 to 10 or 6 to 1. Therefore, revolutions B to C is 1 to 6 equals 33 1/3 over X. Just want to see if this gives me the same result, but it doesn't. So 180 plus 18 is 200. Oh, it does. Okay, thank goodness. Gives it 200 again. Didn't really need to do that, I guess, but I think that's pretty good. In the XY plane, this is a circle. What's the radius of the circle? Okay, you got to need to know how to complete the square here. And let me show you how to do that. 2x squared minus 6x. The x is already grouped, which is good, plus 2y squared plus 2y equals 45. Now I'm going to complete the square. Oh, first I'm going to factor out a 2. It's 3x. Wait, can I divide everything by 2? Yeah, let's divide everything by 2, actually. So now I get x squared minus 3x plus y squared plus y equals 45 over 2. Now we're going to do the completing of the square. So I'm going to say x squared minus 3x plus half of this squared. That's 1.5 squared is 2.25. Y squared plus half of this, which is 1/2 squared is 1/4. Yep. Equals, this is actually 22.5 plus 2.25 plus 0.25. Why? Because I added it here and here, so I got to add it to this side too. So this becomes 24.75, and it becomes 25. Now, we don't care about this left side because we just want the radius. So it's all that stuff up there equals 25. And 25, remember, in a formula for a circle is radius squared. So if 25 is radius squared, the radius is 5. Two different points on a number line are both 3 units from the point with coordinate -4. -4, 1, 2, 3. 3, -2, -1. 1, 2, 3, -5, -6, -7. I'm just kind of jumping. I assume this is what they want. The solution to which of the following equations give the coordinates of both points? We want -7, -1. It's this one, actually, because it works. -7, plug it in, it works. -1, it works. This one does not work. Does not work. -7, -1. Nope. Yeah, it's A. A motor powers a model car so that after starting from rest, the car travels s inches in t seconds. Oh, we've got that formula. S equals 16t square root t. Which of the following gives the average speed of the car in inches per second over the first t seconds after it starts? Oh, I think I know what it is. I think we have to divide both sides by t. And it's s over, then we get s over t. This is inches per time per second equals 16. And then we have 16 root t on the other side. So I think that's it. Weird question, but I think I get it. The scatter plot below shows the amount of electric energy generated in millions of megawatt per hours by megawatt hours by nuclear sources over a 10-year period. Of the following equations, which best models the data in the scatter plot? Okay. Okay, first of all, if it's a quadratic, which is going like this, it's got to be negative because it's facing down. So I can cross off A and C. That most significant term has to be negative. Goodbye, goodbye. Next, what's the major difference between B and D? These are the same. These are different, right? So let's see. I could probably do a little plug and chug into both. How can I do it quickly, though? Oh, both of these are minus, both of these are plus. This gives me a negative vertex on top, right? Because, yeah, it's D. We'll plug in one number just to verify. So I'm going to plug in really quickly like 6. I'll plug it into here. I know this is going to come out negative because everything will be negative, which makes no sense, right? But this would be, let's just do it approximately. 36 times this is about approximately like negative 50. Negative 50 plus 120 is like 70. Plus that is like 810. And that's where 6 is. Look, 810. So it's got to be that one. Okay, we're at 31. We made it. Now it should get easier. A group of friends decided to divide 800 cost of a trip among themselves. When two of the friends decided not to go on the trip, they still divide 800 equally, but each friend's share increased by 20. So how many friends were in the group originally? So 800 over x equals y. 800 over x minus 2. Now they've split it up, equals y plus 20. So we got a system of equations, really. We got 800 divided by the original number is x. 800 divided by this new number is 20 more, y plus 20. Let's multiply it out so we have nicer equations. 800 equals x times y. Here it's 800 equals y plus 20 times x minus 2. And what are we trying to, we're trying to solve for x. So I'm going to replace this with y in this equation. So I get 800 equals 800 over x plus 20 times x minus 2. Now we need to FOIL. I don't know if this was the best way to do it, but it's 800x over x minus 1600 over x plus 20x minus 40. This goes away to 800. 800 equals 800. These cancel out. Minus 1600 over x plus 20x minus 40. Okay. Now multiply everything by x, and I get 0 equals negative 1600 plus 20x squared minus 40x. Quadratic. Okay. I'll factor out my 20, and I get x squared minus 2x, right? Plus minus 80. This becomes that negative 1600. And then can I factor this? I think I can. It's x, difference of 2 is 20 and 4, 10 and 8. Minus 10 plus 8. Then this doesn't make any sense because that would give me negative 8, so it's 10. There were 10 originally. And if there were 10 originally, it became 8. If it were 10, it'd be $80 a person. It became 8, it became 100, and that's a $20 difference. Boom. Okay, this is harder than I thought usually for a 31. What value of x satisfies this? Okay, first I'm going to distribute. Boom, boom. So it becomes 10x minus 40. Distribute the negative, minus 15 minus 8x equals 7. Combine like terms. So that's 10x minus 8x is 2x minus 55 equals 7. Add 55, add 55. 2x equals 62, x equals 31. Boom. 155, 135. Wait, doesn't make sense. Hold on. Negative 20. Oh yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Because this is the second number is gonna be a huge negative. This is gonna be a big positive. Let's do it really quickly. 155 minus 20 is 135, so it's 270 minus, this is 1531, 240, 248, 258, 263. 263, and then it's, yeah, and that gives you 7. All right, 12 minutes left, so I got to hustle. A laboratory supply company produces graduated cylinders with an internal radius of 2 inches and an internal height of 7.75 inches to 8 inches. What is one possible volume rounded to the nearest cubic inch? Okay, so let's just use 7.8 just to be safe. And we'll say the volume is pi r squared times height. So pi times radius is 2 squared, pi r squared times height, which is 7.8. Let's say 98. Oh wait, let's round up. Let's see with 7.9, just to be safe. I don't want to pick something on the border. Pi times 2 squared, which is 4, pi r squared times 0.9. Let's say 99. So I'm rounding down now just to be in that pocket. This definitely less is going to be okay because I said 98 at that other point. 99's got to be good because it's below the max. Okay, next. Okay, so those two intersect, so let's set them equal to each other. And we're saying 3x squared minus 14x equals y, and y equals x, so we're going to set it equal to x, and there we go. Now we're going to subtract x from both sides, and we say 3x squared minus 13x equals 0. Let's factor out an x, and we get 3x minus 13 equals 0. So of course x equals 0. That accounts for this 0, 0. But what about this part when it equals 0? So we got to solve for x equals 0. Add 13, add 13. 3x equals 13, divide by 3. X equals 13 over 3. And that's it. I think we can answer it like that. And if I plug in 13 over 3 here, if we want to do it as a check, it's going to take a while. But I'm pretty sure this is right. Yeah, it's going to take too long to check. I'm feeling good about it. Let's keep going. On the real test, I would absolutely plug it in and make sure it worked, but because of the explanations and all, I'm running behind, so I need to keep room. And I still need to check that other question at the beginning. The line with the equation of this is graph. What is the x-coordinate of the x-intercept? X-intercept occurs where y equals 0. So 4/5 x plus 1/3, that is 0. Equals 1. This goes away to 0. 4/5 x equals 1. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this. That goes to 1. X equals, these are multiplying, x equals 5/4. That's it. Okay. So I'm taking pause because I'm wondering if these are if I'm doing them too quickly, but I think it's still okay. Now we've got this one. Andrew and Maria each collected 6 rocks, and the masses of the rocks are shown in the table above. The mean of the masses of the rocks Maria collected is 0.1 kilograms. Okay. Wow. All right, so we're going to add all these up. So look, check it out. Here's Andrew's mean. Plus 3.6 plus 2.5 plus 2.7 divided by 6. All right, plus 0.1. So Maria's is 0.1 larger than Andrew's. So this is Andrew's. You add 0.1 to that, and that should equal Maria's, which is x plus 3.1 plus 2.7 plus 2.9 plus 3.3 plus 2.8 all over 6. So these guys should be equal, and then we got to solve for x. So a lot of addition here. So first I'm going to add up Andrew's tally. So 2.4 plus 2.5 plus 3.6 plus 3.1 plus 2.5 plus 2.7. Make sure my numbers are good. 2.4, 2.5, 3.6 divided by 6 equals 2.8. So up top for Andrew, it's 2.8 plus 0.1 is 2.9. Equals, what's all this add up to? We've got 3.1 plus 2.7 plus 2.9 plus 3.3 plus 2.8. 4, 5. It's 14.8. Equals x plus the sum of this, which is 14.8 over 6. Now we solve for x. Multiply both sides by 6. 6 times 2.9. Got to be really careful here because there's no multiple choice. 17.4. So 17.4 equals x plus 14.8. Then we're going to subtract 14.8 like this. And x equals 2.6. Don't have time to check it. Would take way too long. I would normally do it again if I had the time, but this is a long problem. I just gotta hope I was careful enough to not make any mistakes. It's a pretty straightforward problem. I would call it relatively easy. It's just time consuming. 2 questions left, 6 minutes. Decent shape. Jeremy deposited X dollars in an investment account there. The amount of money in his account doubled every year until he had $480 in his investment account on 4 years later. What is the value of X? Well, I could use the compound interest formula, which A equals principal times 1 plus R. It's actually R over N, but it's compounded annually, so it doesn't matter, to the T. All right. So my principal is X. My interest rate is, well, it's doubling. So it's 100% interest rate. So which is 1. This is the interest rate, and it's just 1 or 100. And then it is 4 years later. It equals 480. Now we just solve this. 480 equals X times 2 to the 4th. 480 equals 2 to the 4th is 16. Divide by 16. We get a nice whole number, I think. 30 maybe. 480. 30. I think that's right. So look, $30 goes to 60, goes to 120, goes to 240, goes to 480. Yeah, that's right. Definitely. Last question. School district is forming a committee to discuss plans for the construction of a new high school. Of those invited to join the committee, 15% are parents, 45% are students, or teachers, sorry. Parents, teachers. 25% are district administrators. And the remaining 6 individuals are students. 6 individuals, not percent. How many more teachers were? Okay, check this out. We need to figure out what this percentage. So we have 15 plus 25, that's 40, plus 45 is 85%. That means 6 individuals equals 15%. Okay, so 6 out of what equals 15 out of 100? We got to figure that out. Cross multiply 600 equals 15x. Divide by 15, divide by 15. And I think it's 40. X equals 40. So that means there's 40 people overall. So that means 15% of 40 is 6. 45% of 40 is 16, 18. I'm doing it mentally. You could use a calculator. And 25% of that is 10. So check it out. 6, 12, 30, 40. Those work out. How many more teachers were invited to join? 18. Then school and district administrators. 8. 8 more. That's that. Okay, now let's go back to question 1. I think it was 19 that was really confusing. Here we go. See if I can finish this. Okay. With the total rise of 9 feet. Total rise is not in this formula. It's just not. So I think that threw me for a loop. Where's steps? It's not in there. Two, 7. Equals 25. Why do we change that formula? We don't. H equals 11. That's if it's 7. And then if it's 8, 16 plus H equals 25. Subtract 16. It's got to be between 9 and 11. Ooh, could be 9.5 also. That's not good. Said between 7 and 8 inches, right? I'm missing something. (25 minus 14). I'm not sure. Okay. Ran out of time. Oh, wait, don't exit. Let's see here. No. Got one wrong. Darn it. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see what happened. Was it that one? Was it something else? These are good. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to get to your questions in a second. I actually got it right. The riser height and n be the number of steps in the stairway. 9 feet or 108 hence. Oh, what? I'm not sure how we get to that formula. Since n is an integer, it follows that n can be odd, n can be only 15. I'm missing something. Steps in this, that h be the riser height in inches, n be the number of steps. According to the architect's design. Oh, that's what it is. There is a different formula that I should have been using, which is, so that was lucky. I didn't understand that problem. N times h gives me that 108. And we know that the riser, there it is. That was actually pretty simple. Now I get it. This is what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't even use the 9 feet. So that was, I was discarding way too much information. So the 9 feet, we have 108 inches. The riser height was either 7 or 8, okay? And times n. And we know it's some odd number. So if it's at 7 at a minimum, n equals 13, 14, 15, 70 plus 35. It's like a little bit more than 15, okay? Like 15 point something. And if it's 8, 8n equals 108 divided by 8 divided by 8 is 12 is 13. 13, 14 equals like 13 point something something. But it can't be 13. It's got to be a whole number, an odd number. So it would be like 14 or below, or 15. Those are my two options. That's why it has to be 15. So my number of steps is 15. And then, oh wait, hold on. So that only gets me part of the way there. Got it. And then the riser height, if its total height is 108, each step is 15, we divide it by 15 and we get 10.6. Okay, that's crazy. Totally missed it. That was really tough. It was really tough for me. Okay, correct. Okay, 34. This one? It's 5. Oh, what did I do? Must have made a mistake here. All right, let's do it again. So they intersect. So I said 3x squared minus 14x. I already know what I did. It's equals x, and I added x to both sides. I didn't subtract x properly. So it should have been 3x squared minus 15x equals 0. Factor out 3x, and we get x minus 5. That was so easy, and I totally blew it. So x equals 5. Remember I said I should have plugged it in. You know, I wouldn't. Otherwise, with more time, I would have plugged that in. I would have seen that was wrong. I would have plugged it in and gotten some weird answer that wouldn't have made sense. So this one, now you plug it in, and you see it's 5, and the y value's got to be 5. And I plug it in there, and I get 5, 25, 75. Yeah, minus 70, which is 5. So there you go. Check your work. Let me go to the questions now. There we go. Really helpful. All right, I can only register for the test online, or I'm able to go to the test center and register. No, you cannot register at the test center. You have to register online. For this Saturday, it's too late. You're going to have to register. I think you have time still to register late for the next SAT in, I think it's in November. So I would look right away. You'll probably have to pay a late fee, or you can register maybe in 2 SATs away and do that. Thank you for saying that the videos are helping. Are you going to start your live vid? So I'm going to try and start it this time. It's going to be around this time every day for this week. I have different obligations and tutoring appointments starting at different times each day. Like Thursday, because my appointments start at 12:50, I'm probably going to have to start streaming closer to 11 Pacific Standard Time, so like 2 hours earlier than today. I know you, okay, so you want to ask questions. Yeah, I'm going to really try to do a lot more live stuff. And this is going to be your last SAT because you have to apply for colleges. Okay. Well, listen, let me know if you have any other questions. You guys are all welcome to email me if you have specific questions, anything that I can help out with. My email, I'll write it up here for you guys so you can see. It's Huzaifa at Scalar Learning. Hold on. .com. Okay. Email me there. I know somebody mentioned they messaged me on Facebook. I don't even check my Facebook that often. I saw it in one of the comments, but please email me here. It's so much easier. I check my mail 24/7 all the time. So it'd be much easier if you want to get in touch with me that way. And that's it. Don't forget, I'm coming back Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for live streams. This Saturday, I'm actually taking the SAT with you guys. For real, like not here, but the actual SAT. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to make a video probably before and after. And I'll come and sit down and share my experiences with you guys. And hopefully you guys will jump on and give me your thoughts, those of you who've taken it this Saturday, and we can kind of talk shop for a bit. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did like the video, please click the like button. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it a lot. It tells me that I'm doing something right. Also, if you have any questions beyond what I showed you guys, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I try to answer everything within a day. So definitely leave a comment there. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, definitely click that subscribe button. All right, guys. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.